Thanks so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. Happy holidays. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in just 30 minutes. We do start, though, with some tough news. A Miramar Marine is facing vehicular manslaughter charges after allegedly getting into a high-speed chase with Escondido police. As CBS 8's David Godfredson reports, police say the 21-year-old Marine was driving a pickup truck stolen from the Miramar base when he crashed, killing one of his passengers.
The driver tried to make a turn and was unable to negotiate the turn and collided into a retaining wall.
Surveillance video from a neighbor's camera captured the chaos after the crash around 10:30 Monday night in Escondido. Police say a Miramar Marine, 21-year-old Lance Corporal John Brand, was driving a military-owned pickup truck at speeds reaching 88 miles per hour on city streets while being pursued by officers.
This was a Ram pickup truck that we just found out had stolen from the Marine Corps base.
Two young female adults were passengers in the truck, and police say they were not wearing seat belts. Both were ejected from the vehicle during the collision. One of them died. The other one is recovering in the hospital. After a foot chase, police arrested Brand on 11 felony counts, including hit and run, vehicular manslaughter, and kidnapping.
We were able to speak to one of the females at the hospital. She informed us that they had asked the male to stop during the pursuit, so we thought that that was an appropriate charge.
It all started at the Dick's Sporting Goods store on Auto Park Way in Escondido. Employees called police reporting 3 people were shoplifting merchandise and loading it into a pickup truck.
There was a theft occurring. 2 females and a male were inside the store stealing Nike merchandise, a large amount of it.
Officers say they tried to stop the truck as it was driving away with $2,000 worth of merchandise in the bed of the truck. Police say the theft was a felony and the chase only lasted 3 minutes.
It was clear, it was not raining, the roads were dry, and there was little to no traffic. So at the time, the officers felt that it was safe to continue the pursuit.
I spoke to a neighbor who saw the young victims at the scene being loaded into ambulances.
It's sad because it's very young people to make that kind of decision, so terrible, and for the parents.
Brand remains in custody, and he's set to be arraigned Thursday in North County Court. In Escondido, David Godfredson, CBS 8.
And that arraignment did happen. 21-year-old John Brand made his first appearance in court on Thursday. He pleaded not guilty to charges of vehicular manslaughter. The judge denied any bail. Yeah, how about this update? The San Diego police sergeant shot during a confrontation in Forest Ranch celebrated this week as he continues his recovery. He is now on his way to receive specialized treatment after a hearty goodbye at Scripps Memorial in La Jolla. The police sergeant is now being transferred out of state. We're told that his recovery is doing remarkably well, but he still cannot walk. These families in blue know the reality. When their loved one goes to work, there's a chance they don't come back. Sergeant Elliott is described as honorable, selfless, and a hero. Here's how our community is coming together to show support.
He's so thankful to be alive today, but it is an incredibly traumatic experience.
A farewell fit for a king. After 2 weeks at Scripps La Jolla, Sergeant Anthony Elliott is now heading to a special neurology center in Colorado.
He still unfortunately does have a bullet in his brain right now, and he doesn't have really movement in the left side of his body.
Cognitively, he's doing great. Physically, the road to recovery could be long.
He was just able to kind of squeeze his hand, so he's making progress already.
You can see from his scar there just how much worse it could have been. He was shot in the head right outside of the Ralphs and Forest Ranch after pursuing a suspect wanted for stealing a car.
He had an illegal firearm, he had a criminal history, and that's unacceptable.
Officers returned fire, killing 46-year-old Curtis Harris.
The police chief in the city of San Diego making sure that he's getting the best treatment possible And he does have a long road to recovery, but he's extremely brave and extremely tough. And we're so proud of him, and we're just, so thankful that he's still with us here today.
The family says they are profoundly thankful for the overwhelming support. His wife holding back tears as Sergeant Elliott smiled and gave a wave. The couple have 2 young sons together.
Tony, get well soon. I'm praying for you. Love you, dude. Dave from Mary's.
I said, Tony, stay strong. The department is behind you.
This big card is just a small sample of the support being sent to Sergeant Anthony Elliott.
He's made a huge sacrifice for his community, and it hasn't gone unnoticed.
We took our card around town after a CBS 8 viewer reached out saying he's on a mission to make their Christmas brighter. He's asking the community to send cheer in the form of a card.
We just wish him all the best and hope he gets better soon.
I very much support police.
If my husband and I see a policeman close up, we always thank them for what they do. Always.
Yeah, and we are told that he may need to make modifications at his home so that he can get around easier. So in addition to cards and well wishes, the Police Officers Association is collecting donations. 100% of the money raised will go right to the family. You can find that information on CBS8.com. Well, here now is the body camera footage showing the moments that those shots were fired between the suspect and the San Diego police sergeant. It happened again in 4S Ranch back on December 7th. And we, of course, want to warn you that some of the video is graphic and may be disturbing. Investigators say officers found that stolen vehicle in the Ralph's parking lot with a woman sleeping inside. Officers then went inside of the store to confront the suspect, Curtis Harris. You can see Harris run out of the store and then eventually jump over the shopping carts. He then gets behind a wall, and then that is the moment that police say Harris fired those shots.
Hey, come here. Come here. We got to do something. We got to
Yeah, and that sergeant again is still recovering. And San Diego police are looking for more suspects after 3 teenagers were arrested in a series of armed robberies at convenience stores. Police say they arrested 2 16-year-olds and a 14-year-old, all in connection to at least 6 cases in San Diego. One of the suspects arrested was also wanted in connection to a series of delivery driver robberies. Officers say they recovered 3 firearms, including an AR-15, when they arrested the teens. Their identities are being withheld because of their age. If you have any information on additional suspects, you are certainly asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. You could be eligible for a reward. Now to an update on the San Diego rodeo at Petco Park. It will go on as planned. The decision comes after 2 animal rights groups filed a temporary restraining order against the Padres and the company running it, C5 Rodeo, which would have stopped the rodeo. The groups claimed the rodeo violated Petco Park's rule on non-service animals not being allowed inside the park. The judge rejected that restraining order, agreeing with the Padres, saying that municipal code is meant for the public. However, the attorney for the animal rights group says this case isn't over and says there are larger issues at hand, including animal cruelty.
The company that they've contracted to do this, C5 Rodeo, is notorious for abusing animals. They've been caught on film illegally shocking horses at other rodeos in California in order to make them perform. So there are larger animal cruelty issues that we're going to continue to litigate throughout this case.
The rodeo is set for January 12th through the 14th. You can read more about this lawsuit on CBS8.com. Well, a pod of killer whales has been spotted for the 2nd time in 2 days right off of our coast. Gone Whale Watching caught some images this week, and crews are certainly hoping for more. As CBS 8 Shannon Handy shows us, they got what they wished for.
Yeah, what an incredible sight. As you mentioned, the video you just saw was taken yesterday about 3 miles off the coast of North Torrey Pines. And I just confirmed within the past couple of hours that that same pod of whales was spotted in the same area, just a bit closer to shore. Now, before the second sighting, I had a chance to speak with the owner of Gone Whale Watching, and he told me what it was like to have his guests have this once-in-a-lifetime experience.
These ones are known for being so friendly that we had multiple close passes by the boat. All of our guests, some of which dropped everything on a moment's notice, played hooky at work, called in sick just for a chance to see these amazing creatures. And there were tears of joy on the boat and just some really, really happy people.
Dominic Giannini tells me the pod was initially spotted in Los Angeles a few days ago, so tour companies in Southern California were already on alert. He searched for a few days, and yesterday, while he was out scouting alone, he spotted them. He put the information up on his Instagram page, which has over 1 million followers, and people started booking tours day of. He also let other local whale watching companies know so they could take their guests out. Dominic estimates there were 6 or 7 eastern tropical Pacific killer whales, including a baby. They typically only come here about once a year to hunt dolphins, which is exactly what they were doing yesterday. Normally starting in December, but more so into January, you're going to find gray whales in our area, so this was a real treat. The whales spotted yesterday generally stick around Central America and Mexico. Now, since the sighting, Dominic says tours have been filling up. All of his boats were booked today.
You knew that they saw the killer whales, and then you decided, hey, I'm going to try my luck today?
Yes, I did. I tried to get on yesterday, and it was sold out. So this morning, I'm hoping to see it again.
And take a look at this video. This is a video we just got in today from another company called San Diego Whale Watch. This happened just a couple hours ago. You can hear just how excited the guests are as the whales swam beside their boat, and that includes the baby, who you can see was right there beside its mama. Again, that pod was found today in pretty much the same spot, but we're told it was much closer to shore, about a mile off the shore of Torrey Pines, which is remarkable because these whales typically travel between 40 and 50 miles a night, and they don't always go in the same direction, so it's really unpredictable where they're going to be. So to have this pod spotted 2 days in a row is pretty amazing. Reporting from Mission Bay, I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
Boy, it is amazing. They are out there. It's so cool to see. Hope you see them as well. Hey, well, Pope Francis says Catholic priests can now bless same-sex couples. The Vatican made the announcement this week, a radical shift from a 2021 ruling. Back then, the Vatican barred any blessings, saying God, quote, cannot bless sin. And though priests can now bless same-sex couples, the Vatican still does not support same-sex marriage. Local advocates say the announcement is a step forward.
From what we've seen, it seems like the Catholic Church is on that more step-by-step approach, which, you know, it takes what it takes for each faith community. And we just look forward to the day when all LGBTQ Catholics will be fully welcomed into their churches.
The blessings may be carried out as long as they are not part of regular church rituals or liturgies. They must also not take place at the same time as a civil union. Well, when it comes to educating our kids, how are local schools doing post-pandemic? New performance ratings from the state show some districts are doing a lot better than others. CBS 8's Steve Price takes a look at the scores and talked to an educator about why these numbers don't tell the whole story.
The state just released its annual performance ratings for schools in California. They looked at everything from math scores to chronic absenteeism. So how did our local districts do? And how important is this information when it comes to your child's education? Kids back in school, but when it comes to learning, some campuses are definitely making the grade better than others. It's called the California School Dashboard, and it's the primary accountability measure for schools across the state. Local districts scoring high in academics include the San Diego Union High School District, which ranked in the top tier for both English language arts and math. Carlsbad Unified, and Poway Unified.
There's a lot of work to do post-pandemic.
Christine Peck with Poway Unified says every district, regardless of how great their overall test scores are, is facing challenges getting students who aren't performing at grade level to improve. And what they've learned is that just focusing on academics doesn't work. You need to look at the whole child.
During the pandemic, that isolation, the lack of social emotional learning, you know, schools have had to really kind of come back and deal with that. And then we can talk about test scores.
La Mesa Spring Valley is among the local districts with below average scores, along with Sweetwater Union High and the Vallecillos Elementary District in Rainbow. But Christine wants to make sure parents understand Test scores are only one piece of the education puzzle for a school to be successful.
Is there an amazing effort to create culture, belonging? A positive school culture we're finding is really impactful in the success of an individual student.
Of course, kids can't learn if they're not at school, so ending chronic absenteeism has been a huge goal for Poway Unified. They've cut their numbers in half with an individual approach, getting to know each child's issues.
Is it a bus pass? Is it a ride share? Is it providing emergency food and clothes for some of our most vulnerable families?
We reached out to several districts that scored high and low on the state's performance ratings, but they either declined to comment or said because of holiday schedules, they didn't have anyone available to comment. Steve Price, CBS 8.
Steve, thank you. Well, some homeless encampments in East Village have been cleared and help was provided to some of the people living in them. The city of San Diego and Mayor Todd Gloria say thanks to additional state funding, the East Street project focused on a string of encampments along the blocks surrounding the U.S. Post Office and downtown Central Library from Broadway to F Street and 7th to 10th Avenues. These are before and after photos of the areas given to us by the city. According to the city, of the 126 people living in the targeted encampments, 97 of them received some sort of help, ranging from being placed in housing and shelters to reconnecting with family members to give them a place to stay. The city says this is the first of 3 projects the state funding will be used toward. Well, if you are falling behind on your mortgage payments or property taxes, there may be help available. A nonprofit in Logan Heights is helping people apply for the California Mortgage Relief Program. Working for you, we contacted the Logan Heights Community Development Corporation to find out what it takes to qualify. You do need to currently own and occupy the property as your primary residence, and you must have faced a pandemic-related financial hardship. If you qualify, you can receive up to $80,000 worth of assistance.
We walk our clients through this process, making sure that they have all the documents they need, because we want them to take advantage of this program. We want them to get every dime they can.
We do have more information on the state program on CBS8.com. Well, water agencies statewide could soon be turning wastewater into drinking water. This week, the California Water Resources Control Board approved new rules for turning water from toilets and other uses back into tap water. San Diego and LA counties already have similar plans in place. The city of San Diego's Pure Water project aims to supply more of the city's tap water in the near future. California has used recycled wastewater over the decades for things like watering crops in the Central Valley and for ice rinks. El Nino winter conditions are heading our way, but you can protect your garden from the rain and what can follow after a storm. In this Earth 8 report, CBS 8's Sean Stiles shows us what to do to keep your garden in shape.
Although the El Niños have yet to arrive, they are definitely waiting in the wings, and as the old saying goes, an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. Getting ready for those El Niño rains right now will make a big difference in your garden.
Really, the key during heavy rain is slowing down the water. You slow down the water, you minimize the erosion.
David Ross is a senior manager at Walter Anderson Nursery in Poway and says if heavy rain is left unchecked, it can be very damaging.
If it's running, if it's flowing, you want to redirect it and move it away. Otherwise, it'll excavate those plants, expose the roots, could kill a lot of things. So,
Ross shared some simple ways to do that, like this hay roll.
You could use it to slow down moving water, but it also makes a great top dressing if you want to put out some ryegrass seed or some kind of seed.
Erosion netting is another. It holds soil and new plantings in place, but for bigger control, think bales of hay.
Just prior to Hillary, I put this up on my side of the fence, and it did a really good job of slowing that water down.
He says redirecting that runoff with existing or new blocks is a great way to capture that water for your garden.
Well, we took it and realigned it so that it went around the patio into a bed where it percolated down.
When it comes to putting out fertilizer, a ½ inch to an inch of rain is a good thing.
I always try and take advantage of a good rain, a slow soaking rain, to water and fertilizer at my house.
Beyond that, not so much.
I wouldn't put out fertilizer because there's a greater risk of that fertilizer becoming part of the runoff and getting into storm drains and causing all sorts of problems downstream.
Now for the good part.
I had so many people come and say that they had noticed how much better their plants were doing after we had all this free rainwater, clean, free rainwater.
That's why David says it's a good idea to capture it.
A lot of people have moved to things like rain barrels and rainwater collection devices because it is clean water and it's the cleanest water source you're going to find, and it is great for our plants.
So when and if those El Nino rains do arrive, this way you'll be ready and take full advantage of all that beautiful rain coming from the skies. Sean Stiles, Earth 8.
Yes, a lot of rain overnight, even a little this morning. Well, now to a new development. It happened this week for Rady Childrens Hospital. The hospital announced they are planning to merge with Children's Hospital of Orange County. We spoke with the Rady CEO, Patrick Frias. He says that talks about a merger started about a year ago after the pandemic and a surge in child respiratory illnesses. This merger still has to be approved, but if it is, Rady's will be among the top 5 children's hospital networks in the nation. The transaction is expected to close next year. Well, right now, the original location of Tio Leo's is closing down. After 44 years, the popular Mexican food restaurant will stop serving meals on New Year's Eve. The family says this is simply the right time to sell the property and the business.
They're going to be missed, and I'm glad they're not closing both of them.
And we wish them good luck, but we're going to miss them.
Did you catch that there? Don't worry, you can still get your Tio Leo's fix in the Linda Vista and Poway locations. Well, looking to book a home on Airbnb for the New Year's weekend? Beware, the platform is now using artificial intelligence to crack down on potential guests who break the rules and throw a party, disrupting local neighborhoods. CBS 8's Richard Allen has more on how this technology would be used to block some guests and the concerns that are being raised by critics.
And last year, Airbnb blocked more than 63,000 people in the United States during New Year's Eve from booking a home as part of a general crackdown on guests who are suspected of renting that home for a large party. And that number could increase this year, with Airbnb now turning to artificial intelligence.
It's probably going to make a lot of people upset, probably mostly young people that want to throw parties.
Airbnb says its aim in using AI is to reduce the risk of unauthorized and raucous parties that could disrupt neighborhoods on New Year's, a high-tech strategy that's raising many questions.
What algorithm, what AI, what parameters are they using?
Airbnb says their proprietary AI technology looks at hundreds of signals that could indicate a guest booking a certain home is at higher risk for throwing a party. Those signals include the duration of the trip, how far the listing is from their location, the type of listing they're booking, and whether the reservation is being made at the last minute.
I'm kind of split on the issue.
This mom says on one hand, this policy could take away business from Airbnb hosts if the platform is blocking potential guests.
But I do understand and live in a residential area where sometimes people come in and have parties, and it's really no fun when you're raising kids and they have school the next day.
Airbnb says it will also require guests who are allowed a booking to sign off on the platform's strict no-party policy, adding if they break the rule, they face suspension or removal from the site.
I don't know how well that's going to work, but if you sign those terms and conditions, I think you're basically saying you're okay with Airbnb doing whatever they want to do.
But Ken Kiles is not okay with this AI strategy or with Airbnb's general ban on parties.
When you're spending that kind of money, for you to have rules and regulations, it seems kind of unfair, especially for them to start profiling people to decide who can come and who can't.
Who is going to get rejected from renting? And if it is going to be just for parties, or if they can use parties as an excuse to discriminate against certain guests.
In a statement, Airbnb says, quote, when it comes to how we use technology like AI, we're focused on taking a thoughtful approach that aims to benefit hosts, guests, and neighborhoods. We're optimistic these measures will help have a positive impact for the communities we serve. And for more information on Airbnb's policy on using artificial intelligence, just go to CBS8.com, click on the online version of this story.
Interesting for sure, Richard. Thank you. Well, do you like to check out real estate on Zillow? Maybe where you live right now or someplace you'd like to live. According to Zillow, 4 large Southern California cities are among the top 10 most popular searches of 2023. CBS 8's Anna Laurel joins us from the website's most searched city of the year.
Do you recognize where I am? We're here on 3rd Avenue in Chula Vista. That's right, Chula Vista is the most searched city on Zillow this year. So we spoke with some South Bay experts to find out why people all over the nation are interested in moving here.
I feel like it's this area of San Diego that's kind of been forgotten about for a long time. Now there's a lot of new development that's coming into Chula Vista.
Kyle Whistle is a big fan of Zillow's most searched large city of 2023, and he knows it well. According to U.S. News and World Report, his Whistle Realty Group has the most Chula Vista sales.
And what we like as real estate agents is the fact that there's something for everybody. So you could get a starter home in the 6s, but you could also get an estate for, there's one I looked up, for $6 million.
When figuring out which cities potential buyers and renters are most interested in, Zillow analyzed page views, home value appreciation, and days on the market. Chula Vista ranked #1 in consumer demand for large cities with populations of at least 250,000 people, with the average home sitting on the market for 27 days and the average home value at $808,000.
One of the things that we have are some great statistics that I'm sure pop up in every search that you do in a real estate.
Chula Vista City Councilman Jose Preciado says creating housing is one of the many things the city is doing right.
In the next 10 years, we're planning to grow by about 70,000 people. That's why we're building new housing. So for families that are looking at different price levels, we have about 12,000 homes in the pipelines.
Chula Vista covers San Diego Bay on the coast all the way east to Otay Mountain. On the coast, the largest hotel under construction in the nation right now will be done in 2025. And in the east, there's the huge residential and commercial project called Millennia.
And that's like 80 blocks worth of development.
Coming up at 6, we'll show you what else is coming to Chula Vista that locals are calling a game changer. In Chula Vista, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
We couldn't be more proud. Good stuff, Anna. Well, San Diego police want to remind you to, of course, not let your guard down during this busy season. It is important to take precautions while you're out and about shopping for the holidays. Police say keeping a few common sense ideas top of mind can make you less of a target for thieves.
Maybe go shopping with a partner or in groups. When you drive to the malls, make sure you lock your doors, have your windows rolled up. And if you have any packages in your vehicle from shopping, make sure you cover it up with a blanket so nobody that walks by readily can see those items.
Yeah, they also advise to park in well-lit areas and use trusted websites while shopping online. And if you're using an ATM, make sure you're focused and avoid distractions. Well, you know it, we are right in the heart of the holiday season, so we want to take you behind the scenes to show you the inner workings of the U.S. Postal Service's extremely busy processing center here in San Diego. As CBS 8's Richard Allen finds, it's a round-the-clock operation dedicated to making sure your holiday cheer is delivered on time.
Well, that's right. This time of year is the Super Bowl for the U.S. Postal Service, processing more than 10 billion pieces of mail so far this holiday season and counting. It's a Herculean effort that these USPS workers have been gearing up for over the past year.
During this time of the year, it's about double to triple compared to the rest of the year.
Processing millions of pieces of mail, from letters and cards to packages, every single day in the run-up to the holidays.
That mail is going in at about 30 miles an hour right now.
Here inside the U.S. Postal Service's Processing and Distribution Center, where San Diego County's mail is taken in, it's sorted and processed up to 30,000 pieces an hour, and then prepared for delivery to destinations throughout the rest of the country and the world. You could call it organized chaos.
During the holiday season, because we do prepare a year in advance, this really is organized chaos in the sense that everything has a purpose, everything's on schedule so that we can make the holiday happen for everybody. and we can deliver.
An operation that requires the hard work of over 1,000 employees here in this main processing center in Carmel Mountain, as well as thousands of mail carriers and other postal workers throughout the county.
There's a whole operation, a whole army of people that are behind that piece of mail.
Working around the clock and often overtime just to make sure the holidays are delivered on time.
Whether it be a carrier out on the street or whether it be mail processors inside running double or triple the volume that they would normally do the other 11 months of the year.
Sarah Oney worked as a mail carrier here for the USPS for years.
So it's definitely a challenge, making sure all those packages get to the customers on time, all those Christmas cards get to the customers on time.
And if you still have a Christmas gift to mail out, time is running out. The deadline for 3-day priority mail is Wednesday and 2-day express is Thursday. And if you're packing something up to ship out, take some extra time to secure it both inside and outside. Your postal workers will thank you.
Don't skimp on tape. When you pack whatever's inside, the goal is to not have it shake.
And while most of us have this holiday weekend off, U.S. postal workers will be out delivering holiday mail as late as Christmas Day.
I always enjoy seeing the behind the scenes of those stories each year. And truly, thank you for what you're doing. We are grateful. Well, now to a follow-up on a San Diego veterinarian who took the national stage when he won CNN's Hero of the Year last week. He's known for taking care of animals whose owners are homeless, and his kind gestures are coming full circle. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen met with him after an exclusive surprise right here on CBS 8.
Dr. Quan Stewart is known as the street vet. After he gained attention on a national stage, he's getting a surprise of a lifetime.
Luke, come here. Come here.
Last week, we introduced you to Dr. Quan Stewart, the Escondido street vet who gained national attention by winning CNN's Hero of the Year. For more than a decade, he has provided medical care to pets of people experiencing homelessness. He generously decided to split his $100,000 grand prize winnings with the other finalists.
This part certainly wasn't planned, but the $100,000 I want to celebrate with all of you. It splits evenly 10 ways pretty nicely. So it is my contribution to all of us. I want to say I'm honored to know you.
Today, that act of kindness came full circle when the San Diego Foundation donated $90,000 to Dr. Stewart's nonprofit Project Street Vet.
Our hearts just melted when he was doing his acceptance speech, in which he said he was going to split his $100,000 award between himself and the 9 other finalists, that we said, could we possibly make him whole? Because his work is so important here in San Diego.
I just received $90,000 from the San Diego Foundation, and yeah, I was surprised. When we received the email, yeah, I was shocked. I wasn't really expecting to get the money back, but to have somebody step forward so fast and so generously, yeah, it was a surprise.
Dr. Stewart says the money will go towards medication for the animals and volunteer staff. Are you going to keep it this time for yourself?
I'm going to use it. Yeah, I'm going to put it to good use right here in San Diego.
And as far as what's next, he plans to expand Project Street Vet to more cities across the country to help even more pets living on the streets.
I'm a very proud veterinarian, and it took a lot of sacrifices, but if this is a dream of yours, there's a pathway for you.
Project Street Vet is heavily funded by your donations. If you would like to donate, we've posted a link at cbs8.com. Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Truly just goosebumps. That is so generous. I'm speechless, and that's rare. Ariana, good stuff. Hey, well, right now, really not a fun time if you have allergies. Turns out things that normally bring you comfort during the holidays could be the root of your allergy symptoms. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen once again talked to 2 local doctors to learn more.
As the weather cools down and you head indoors, you may need to prepare for winter allergies. According to the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, some of the most common winter allergy symptoms include itchy red or watery eyes, sneezing, stuffy or runny nose, cough or difficulty breathing, and trouble sleeping. Today, I spoke with Dr. Adam Johnson, emergency medicine physician at Sharp Grossmont Hospital, and Dr. Jotu Sandhu from Sharp Reese Steely. Rady.
So this time of year is definitely one of the times where we're seeing the highest amount of respiratory issues and infections.
COVID and flu they're kind of kicking into high gear now. I'm seeing more flu cases by the day.
Both doctors tell me indoor air can at times be worse than outdoor air.
The problem with the inside air is that it'll be recycled multiple times on occasion. And so instead of getting that fresh air from outside, it'll go in and out through the same filter, and it won't be as fresh. It can have dust, even bacteria in the air.
Cozy culprits like fireplaces and scented candles can actually intensify winter allergies.
Sometimes that wax that's actually burning can have health side effects, and sometimes that smoke will be in the room lingering longer than expected and can irritate the lungs.
Pet dander and insects are also bad news for air quality in your home.
Cockroaches are far more allergenic.
So, what do these experts recommend? Use a humidifier to reduce dryness in the air with a maximum humidity of 50%. Avoid wall-to-wall carpeting. It's a favorable environment for dust mites and bugs. Wash sheets weekly in hot water to kill dust mites. Bathe pets at least once a week to minimize animal dander. Doctors also say to be aware of using artificial Christmas trees.
Fake Christmas trees can be made out of all types of plastic. You don't know where that plastic comes from, and you don't know if you could be allergic to that or what chemicals could potentially be on it. Just be very careful and stay healthy.
Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Good info. Appreciate it. Well, 500 families in the South Bay now have presents to put under the tree and a Christmas dinner to serve this week. The Chula Vista Police Department held their annual holiday meal and toy giveaway on Monday. The department pre-selected the families involved and invited them to a Walmart to meet Santa and grab gifts. The police chief tells us the event was all about community.
We wish happy holidays and a happy new year to everyone. This is a time for people to celebrate what we have in our community, and that's a partnership and friendship.
Boys and girls. Yeah, best time of year. The Chula Vista Police Department has been participating in this tradition for more than 19 years. Well, a retired San Diego Marine will be spending the holidays here with his nephew for the first time in years. It's all thanks to Alaska Airlines' Gift of Travel program, which allows them to fly service members, family members, out to see them for the holidays. Retired Corporal Eagle Adon's nephew flew to San Diego all the way from New York. Adon says for the last 5 years, he's spent the holidays alone. So he is very thankful that programs like this around that exist to help him and other members of our military.
It sucks being alone during the holidays, and a lot of veterans and a lot of active duty military personnel, they spend the holidays on their own, and then some of the times they have each other, and sometimes that's not enough.
Truly heartwarming. Adon says that the first thing they were going to do, just grab some food and head to the beach because his nephew has never been. I hope it was great. Well, Meals on Wheels is trading in its delivery van for a sleigh. On Monday, the CEO suited up as Santa to surprise a senior and her new puppy in Barrio Logan. CBS 8's Abby Black shares the special delivery.
When Danette Marmolejo kept leaving the stove on, her daughter encouraged her to use Meals on Wheels. So now each week she gets a meal, and so does Lucy. But this week, she got a special delivery.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
When 69-year-old Danette Marmolejo heard the knock on the door,
Merry Christmas!
she and her 4-month-old Cocker Spaniel
and this is Lucy
received more than a meal from the CEO and president of Meals on Wheels, who was suited up as Santa.
We do. We have a gift for Lucy and a gift for you. I've got several things for you.
Danette thought it was just a meal drop.
Oh my gosh, it made me cry.
Danette says her daughter and family visit often, but a small handmade card from a neighborhood child.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And a squeaky toy for Lucy. A puzzle to keep the mind sharp.
Oh, I love these word search puzzle books.
Small gifts to decorate the house.
This is pretty.
And a warm meal.
Oh, turkey a la king.
Are making a big impact on San Diego seniors.
To be a senior, to have somebody that would care about us is beyond the moon to me.
Danette and Lucy started relying on Meals on Wheels this year. The nonprofit serves 1,800 clients each day, and their pets get food too.
When I hear Meals on Wheels coming, I'm going, oh, yippee, good. You know, I don't have to worry.
Meals on Wheels says 1 in 10 seniors in San Diego experience hunger, and nearly half live alone.
And I think I'm gonna live longer because I eat much better.
During the visit, volunteers do wellness checks.
Your Santa's here today to rock it. And Lucy, you're making my job easy today.
It's more than just the meals that the 3,000 volunteers deliver each year.
You know, the holidays, I think, for all of us mean family, a lot of memories for the things we used to do as kids, get together. And so it's nice to be remembered, to have special gifts.
Meals on Wheels also delivers a gift of friendship wrapped in gratitude.
I can't even talk, except Merry Christmas.
In Barrio Logan, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Love that gratitude, Abby. Thanks. As always, thank you for your time. Thanks for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Have such a good holiday season and take good care of yourself.